This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we're ready. It's 5:30. We'll open the meeting. And if you're not speaking, would you please turn your mic off so it's easier to transcribe the minutes at the end for whoever has to transcribe them, so there's not a lot of background noise in it. Terry Jones is not going to join us tonight, nor Michelle Gabowski. So the first person on the agenda is Carrie Tuttle. She's going to share some information with everyone. Are you there, Carrie?
I'm here. Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes. Yep.
So if you turn your mic.
Okay, great. Oh, go ahead, Norma. I'm sorry. Okay, it looks like everybody's muted. So I'll go ahead and get started. Thanks for having us, Norma. I just wanted to update the Clayton team on a couple staff updates that we had that have come up. And I wanted to also introduce a couple of the Development Authority employees that are going to be helping to work on our projects in Clayton. So I first wanted to let everybody know that Manassa Burr, our project engineer that's been working in Clayton full time and supporting the DOT project, has accepted a position with another company. And it was a great opportunity for him. So we're very happy for him, but we are sad that he's going to be leaving us, and Friday is going to be his last day. So Thomas Haynes, our other project engineer, is going to be picking up Manassa's projects. And I'll let Thomas introduce himself in a moment here. And also, Megan had an announcement that she wanted to make. Some of you may be aware, but some of you may not. So I'm going to turn it over to Megan and let her give you a little update on her status.
Good evening, everyone. As Carrie said, some of you may have heard already, but I just wanted to give the formal announcement to everyone that in January, I am expecting to have a little baby boy. I'm about 7 months pregnant now. So we're pretty excited about that. And the authority's been really great. We're already made plans to make sure that there's a seamless transition between when I'm on maternity leave and able to come back. So we want to give you guys a heads up.
Thanks, Megan, for sharing that news with us. Keep up the good work as long as you can.
Oh, absolutely. I'll be probably working till I feel the water break. So we staying busy for sure.
So Norma, what we are proposing to do to cover this transition while Megan is out and with Manassa leaving us, Star Carter, our Assistant Director of Engineering, is going to be relocating to Clayton. She's going to be working full-time in Clayton starting on Monday of next week. And I mentioned Thomas Haynes is going to take over Manassa's capital project responsibility. So I did want to just turn it over to Star and then Thomas to just give a brief introduction. And then if anyone has any questions, we're certainly happy to answer those as well. Star?
All right, well, yes, this is Star Carter, and as Carrie said, I'm the Assistant Director of Engineering. I have been at the Authority for 9 years, and some of you may recognize me. I've been doing the GIS mapping in the Village of Clayton for those 9 years and in other municipalities, but I also handle a lot of the other engineering projects, including some municipal studies, different asset management plans, and other technical services projects that I work on, as well as the mapping. And and some of you also may remember me. Many years ago, I worked in Clayton. I was at the Thousand Islands Land Trust for a couple of years before I went to the Authority. So I'm actually really looking forward to coming back to Clayton, even if it is just a temporary shift, but I'm really excited to be back in Clayton. So I'm looking forward to the work.
Thank you, Star. We're looking forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Back to you, Carrie.
Yes, Thomas, did you want to just give a brief intro also?
Yep. Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas Haynes. Carrie mentioned I am the other project engineer that works in the engineering division for the Development Authority. I've worked for the authority for two years this week. Before that, I worked in the private sector doing large commercial construction down in New York for 5 years. Over the last month, I've met with Manasseh several times in Clayton, and I've walked the Riverside project and met with Todd and along with New Centuries. So I'm up to speed on everything that's going on with that project, so that next month the board won't see any difference. We will continue on full steam ahead.
Thank you, Tom. Does anyone on the board have any questions for our new people or Megan, Carrie? If not, we welcome everybody aboard, and we're going to miss Manasseh. He's done a great job on the project for us downtown and covering while Megan has been away. So we look forward to seeing you come back and see a finished product. Megan, do you want to do your report while Carrie and everybody's still on the line?
Yeah, I could certainly dive right into my report. Did you guys all receive my monthly report I had for September?
Yep, I have.
Okay.
Yep.
I believe let me see here. Aside from that, we had, before I forget, Marshall was requesting to carry over 40 hours of vacation time. He apologized for the late notice since he's already had his anniversary, but due to the coronavirus and the staffing adjustments we had to make early in the year, he wasn't able to take his full vacation time. So he was requesting to carry over the 40 hours, and pretty much we've had discussions with the whole staff, and they're planning to hopefully not have to do this next year. It seems like this year, with all the craziness, it was a pretty common thing.
One of the board members make a motion so we can have this documented 40 hours.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
And that's a second from Nancy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, 40 hours carry over for Marshall Green.
Beautiful. The second thing on my on the agenda is our wastewater treatment plant emergency response plan. I made some minor updates, including, plan holder, system demand, contact information. I was hoping to get board approval to adopt the updated plan for the village.
Would a board member please make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Nancy. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Somebody want to second the motion for the wastewater treatment plant response plan?
I'll second it.
Steve? All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, Megan, you're all set there.
All right, thank you. And I've got a couple other updates. The guys worked hard on getting all the meters read last week and worked with Joanne to get all the go backs and manual reads. So we should be pretty close to done. There might just be a couple odds and ends that we're wrapping up this week, but we'll be on track to get everything out on time. Second update, water related. Since Kester came in and installed the new O-ring on our filter, we haven't experienced any leaks. It appears to everything has gone really well. Then we're getting longer filter run times since we had the operators clean the septums while it was taken apart as well. So as long as over the next week we're still seeing the performance we want out of it and still no leaks, we'll be scheduling the last filter to get completed here in the next couple weeks in November when Kester's available to come back. So hopefully that's the end of the filter horror story that's been the past 2 years, but this seems to be the answer we've been waiting for. Another thing that was in my board report was at pump station LS2, one of the pumps has been leaking and failing. It's 20 years old. We had the option, we can either replace it or repair it, and being of the age of the pump, it makes sense to just do the full replacement of the pump. It doesn't make any sense to invest any additional money into it. So I just wanted to give the board a heads up that it was not a planned replacement, but we definitely need to do it, and we're going to plan for the replacement of the other pump in that pump station for next year, since it is definitely exceeded its life expectancy. Lastly, on Friday, we had Kester come in and do some preventative maintenance on our Smith and Loveless pump stations. And at LS1A, after they left, we seem to be having pump issues with one of the pumps, and it seems to be pretty much directly related to they must have touched something or done something, since it started 2 hours after they left. So the guys got a hold of them first thing this morning, and Kester was very responsive, and they're going to be out here as soon as possible to get it resolved. And we've been managing it all right, because I know it's one of our major pump stations, and they want to get it taken care of as soon as possible. Those were my updates. Do you guys have any questions on anything on my report or anything else I gave an update on today?
Megan, the only question I have is on this Ready deal for the flood hub. What do we got to do for that? Did you come up with something that would satisfy them?
I reached out to Brian and Judas, and I didn't hear a response back. I'm going to be reaching out to them again tomorrow to see what we got to do to get this taken care of, since we definitely weren't expecting the response back that they gave us, saying that they're not going to accept that coming from our code officer. I was really surprised, and I think so was everyone else. So I think Brian and Judas is probably trying to figure out the next steps, and I'm going to touch base with them and see where they're at with that, and hopefully we can get some put together soon. And if we got to work with the code officer again, I'll let you know, and we can work to get that taken care of.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Megan?
Yeah, I got one, Mayor. Megan, I'm not going to be able to get recertified by the end of October. My certification for my backflow testers expires the end of October. And can you find somebody else to do the village's backflow testing this year?
Yep, we had the an authority person in the water quality division come and do them earlier this year, because we had to had them, because we installed a new one, we had to have it certified, so we just did them all.
Okay.
So we're all
You're all set for this year. Okay then. All right, great.
Yep, we're good. Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
Okay, Megan, thanks. And Carrie, do you have anything more you want to share with us?
Nope, I didn't have anything else unless anybody has questions for us.
I appreciate you coming on tonight and bringing the new crew on, so everybody will know the name and stop by and see him. We are going to miss Manasseh. He's done a great job for us down there on that project. Worked well with DOT, and it was great having him here in the village, so they didn't have to wait for a response. Got some action done real fast, so that was great. And Manasseh, you are on too for change order number 6. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, if everybody's on board, I can hop on and talk about that quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So, change order 6 is for New Century's contract, and this will be our first, well, I guess one of our main change orders that has been a deduct from the contract. Basically, what you have is the McKinley building downtown that was originally I guess it was about 4 years ago when they did the first study on this. That was owned by two separate people at the time. And so there were two line items created for services for that building, two separate services. So Kyle had carried numbers in there to serve the porch and paddle with its own service, and then also a service for the other two buildings there on 230 to 236 James Street. So with Jeremy now owning the entirety of the building, they've determined they only want one service for the McKinley building. And so to accommodate them, we've removed the porch and paddle line item. And then beyond that, Jeremy has decided to contract directly with somebody to have the equipment installed in the building. I know he was looking at some specialty stuff they have installed there originally. So basically this change order is just to remove the line item for the porch and paddle service completely, and then to reduce the amount of the McKinley building service to just the basement penetration. And it no longer includes any of the service material that's installed inside the building. So dollar amount, we're talking, there's $12,727 being removed for porch and paddle. And then for the rest of the McKinley building, that will be reduced by $15,474.26. So the total amount of this change order is a deduction of $28,201.
Can I have a motion from a board member, please, to accept that change order?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Nancy. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And anyone opposed? And Jeremy, you didn't vote, right?
Right.
Okay. That was a good thing. Those letters that went out a couple of weeks ago brought that to our attention, and there was one other small thing that we had to do, and everybody's got their letter, and we're working with whoever has that problem, but we only had two that called. So that's a good thing. So are we about done with that?
Yeah, I think so, Norma. If you don't mind, I'd just like to take a second to thank the board for, you guys have just been phenomenal to work with on this project. You guys work well together, and honestly, Clayton as a community has just been really beneficial to work with. So I hope this project goes well, and I'll definitely be visiting again. And I just wanted to say thank you to the board for working with me.
Well, I want to thank you, Manasseh. It's been fun working with you, and it's been a great project, and you've got a lot of it behind us. So that's a good thing.
You guys have my cell phone number, so I'm still in the area, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that come up along the way and stay involved if you guys need anything from me. So feel free to call.
Thanks, Manasseh. And we hope you get down here to see it when it's all finished.
Oh, I will.
I think that we are pretty well wrapped up on water sewer and the information from Carrie. So if we're all set there, welcome everybody, and thank you, Manasseh, again. And we will now move on to the police report, which you have in your package, and Kevin's not here, nor Michelle. So are there any questions from anyone?
No.
Okay, so everybody's okay there. And Nancy, do you want to bring us up to speed with anything at the DPW?
There hasn't been anything new since Terry sent out his report, which everyone received, I believe, over the weekend. So things seem to be going well. I do have a question in reference to our conversation 2 weeks ago about the parking lot. Were you able to get any more information, Norma, from the insurance company?
At the insurance company, and I just checked with Rebecca before I left tonight, and she's waiting for their insurance company. They don't see any issues. They just need some documentation that they, would waive anything and let us go in there and plow. But I don't have it in writing.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So maybe we won't get any snow and it won't be an issue. But
that'd be fabulous.
I really think we need to keep it open. Okay? Terry's aware of Election Day next Tuesday and what he has to do. He works directly with the Board of Elections, so he'll be there to get it opened up and ready at 5 o'clock next Tuesday morning. So that was the only other things. And the Rotary bathrooms downtown, that's kind of hit and miss now for them to be open and locked up. But until the construction crew leaves town, which is going to be shortly, Terry thought maybe we would leave it open. And just as a convenience for them. They'll be out of here in another week or so. So we got DPW, police, DANK. What about the consent agenda? Items 1, 2, 3, and 4. Does anyone have any questions there? If not, can I have a motion to accept those?
I'll make the motion to accept items 1
Thank you,
through 4.
Nancy. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, we got 1 through 4 done. And on the capital projects, any questions there? This might be the last bill from O'Brien and Gear. That's wrapping up the water project, which is about done. And paperwork that's got to be finished up. If not, can I have a motion to accept item 5?
I'll make that motion for item 5.
Thank you. And a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anyone opposed? Thank you. Carried. Okay, Joanne, do you want to do the sludge bid?
Yes. I have opened it and I only received one from Gilbuilt and it says, please accept this letter as our bid for the 2020-2021 sludge hauling season. We will continue to haul according to this past year's contract specifications. Due to such a strange and unpredictable year, we are not requesting a rate change at this time. Our current rates are as follows. Watertown plant is 0.05 as it was last year, and Carthage is going to be per gallon 0.625 as it was last year. So being that this was the only bid, can I have board's approval to accept it?
I would make that motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. So I will send out a letter to them, letting them know tomorrow. And then the second thing on the agenda for me was for the sign law, Diane sent over the EAF, and she said that we just need to adopt it and set a public hearing for the sign law. So you guys received the EAF.
I would make the motion to accept the EAF as presented from the lawyer's office.
Okay. Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, so do we want to set a public hearing?
Yes, and the email that you had sent, when Diane's suggestion for, I think it was December 14th, because it's got to go to the Jefferson County Planning Board, which was sometime in November. Is that correct, Joanne?
Yes, that's correct. And she did say that we cannot adopt it until after they approve it.
Right, so my suggestion would be the 14th. So I make that motion.
Okay, so Joanne, you can get that, get the information back to Diane and we'll set the date, right?
Yes.
Okay.
November 14th?
Do we want to put a time on it? 6 o'clock?
Sure, that sounds great.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Joanne, did you give the Flower Society resolution? It
I
might not, I don't know, Alicia, did you get that back to Joanne? Or we can do it the next meeting.
Yeah, she did get that to me, but I didn't print it out until the end of the day and,
Okay,
yeah.
we'll just send it, well, I think she sent it to all the board members, so take a look at it, and that's what we've got to do. That's the first step for the Flower Society to get the state to let them put in the flowers that they want at Lions Field. So we
I'll
can
have-
do that at the next meeting.
Yeah, I'll put that on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay, that sounds good.
Thank you.
Alicia, do you want to talk about the revision to the work plan for COVID?
I can. It's a simple change. It is really just related to, as you saw in the one-page document that was sent, it's just a change to what is required before the employee can return back to work if there is if they're quarantined.
Yeah, I read it over. It looked fine to me. Does anyone have any questions? They're just things that we have to keep updating. I think we got a long ways to go.
It's also, I would add, just keeping in line with having the town and the village plan be the same. That's how we kind of started it out so that there wasn't any confusion and we were treating employees the same in both the town and the village. We actually had a circumstance where we dealt with quarantine. So as a result of actually going through it, being on the other side, we updated our document to be more in line with reality versus what we had put on paper based on templates before we ever had the actual situation.
Make a motion to accept that, Alicia?
Yes.
Would somebody make that?
I'll make that motion to accept the change.
Thank you, Nancy. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thanks for getting that done. Okay.
Alicia, excuse me, Norma, I did have one question in reference to human resource. When is the new handbook going to be completed? Or where is that standing right now?
Alicia can help you out with that.
I have the draft back, and I just was chatting with Norma about it on Friday as to how we wanted to approach sitting with the board and going through that document. And I believe what we were going to do is wait until possibly the next meeting or after the election, just to understand who was going to be on the board, if there were going to be any changes, so that we could do the best that we could to bring everybody up to speed at one point in time and let everybody have the appropriate input. But basically, the long story short is the draft is done and ready to be reviewed and revised by the board.
Okay, thank you.
Is that okay? Are we okay with that? I do have 3 years ago when the state mandated that we all work together in the county and try to do shared services. And then when we had high water and everything else that happened, they kind of put that on the back burner, but it's fired back up again. We've had a couple of virtual meetings for us to do the joint or go with the town on the court building. We're going to hold that one off until next year, so we'll at least have one project to put out for the state, because there's 2 other people in the county that have got a shared fuel station and a court building that they can put in for this year. So that's back out there that we'll work on. And maybe a month ago, we had the Red Cross Blood Bank here, and it was in memory of Lucy Raff. And they want us, they're doing their 2021 calendar, and they would like to pencil in April 17th. It's a Saturday from 10 until 3. It's out there quite a ways. I thought we could put it down, but if way things are happening pretty fast and furious with COVID, might not be able to do it, and they understand that. But they'd like to have a placeholder in there if they could. Can I tell Laura that we'd do that? unless things change drastically. Terry said they did fine getting set up and cleaned up from the last one.
I think that's great. And also there's one this Thursday, correct? The 28th at the fire hall.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I know
I would
Laura,
go with
quite a
that.
few people that signed up for organ donors. She was pleased with that, and they had some new people sign up to give blood. I think they got 39 people that donated. So that was
Yes, they
good.
did very well. Yes.
Yeah, she did, and she
Yeah.
was pleased with that. So I'd like to tell her that we can write that in and see how things look closer to April, if that's okay with everybody.
Norma, what was that date?
The date, April 17th, it's a Saturday. It would be from 10 until 3. Does anyone on the board have anything they want to bring up?
Norma, I did have another question. And maybe you were covering that in the water department. Did I see an email from Richard talking about he didn't see any need for something downtown? And was that the pumps you were referring to earlier?
Right. He had to, Megan got him to do the letter because he represents for the flood area. And they wanted more. They want engineering information. So she's going to work with Barton and the Judas. They were down here the other day, took a look at what they think they can put together that will satisfy the grant people.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, anyone else on the board? Do we have anyone in the public that would like to speak?
Yes, this is Joe Crispin. I was wondering if there was any overflows or anything this last
No,
period.
there were not. Nope, we did not have any. No, we had really good report from Megan. No overflows, no people, nobody complained. No, it was a good, we had the least overtime hours that we've had in a long time. We only had 36 for the month, which is great. There were no overflows. I can't see it on the report real quick to read it to you, but it was all good.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it is good. That is good. Anyone else?
Norma,
I
it's
think Alicia.
Paul.
Yeah, go ahead.
Curious if you could give us an update on the filing of the AUD.
I have nothing new. There's only one person other than you, Paul, that wants it worse, and it's me. I was talking to Tina today on a couple other issues. I had a nice conversation with one of the partners at EFPR a couple weeks ago. It's coming. I'm not going to put another date out there because I got burned on the last one. So they're trying to wrap up this water project and have that all in there when it goes in. I did check with, I'm sorry?
What will the state do when you blow past the October 31st extension?
It's problematic for me not to have something done on time that's supposed to be. But we're trying to do it right, and that's where they're at, and we're just plugging away at it. And I know she was working with O'Brien and you the other day to get some information that she needed that was missing in it. So every day it's an event with the AUD. As soon as it's done, we'll be sure to let you know. I did check with NICOM. There's 62 municipalities that have to have them done in June. And 29 of us aren't there yet. So I'm not the only one, but I don't want to ever be one. So we're working on it. Anyone else? If not, can we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Nancy, thank you. Who's got a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I don't think anybody would oppose. So we're all good. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
All right.